Welcome everybody to Bedbug TV. I'm your host, Jeff White. And in today's episode I want to talk to you guys about what you should do when you travel. You can see here that in today's episode I'm in a hotel room, and it's a very popular question right now with people traveling, going to see loved ones and relatives or doing business travel, and what do you do to avoid taking bedbugs home with you? It's a huge concern. And so what I want to do is provide you with some pointers and some things that you should be aware of when you travel. And so as you can see, when I walked into the hotel room, the first thing you want to make sure you do is take your bag and put it down in an area away from your sleeping areas. You can see it's out here in the middle of the floor. That's a good place to leave it while you get yourself situated in the hotel room. Some people talk about putting it on the luggage rack, and why that may not be a bad recommendation, I don't typically follow it, because everybody puts their bag on the luggage rack, which means it could be an area that has bed bugs. The one thing you definitely don't want to do is walk into the room and do something like that, because now the bag is on the bed and that may have bed bugs in it and you don't even know that yet. So we definitely don't want to do that. We want to go ahead and put it out in the middle of the floor. Obviously make sure you don't trip over it or anything like that. And then real quick, what I want to talk about is some things that you should take with you and put in your bag before you travel. What I have over here is a good flashlight. Definitely something that you should travel with if you can. Now obviously with travel restrictions these days, I'm not sure what you're going to be able to put in your bag, but if you can take a little flashlight, maybe a keychain flashlight, something that'll help you see when you do a quick inspection of the hotel room. And then what I have here, this is actually a Green Clean dissolvable laundry bag, and you can pack either one of these or even a simple garbage bag, but you should bring bags with you. And we're going to get back to that in a second when I talk about what you're going to do when you leave the hotel room. But you should have a couple bags in your suitcase to help you bag things up before you leave. And as I said, we'll get back to that. Okay, so when you get to the hotel room, as I said, put your bag down in an area away from the sleeping areas, and what you're going to do is take your trusty flashlight, and you're going to do a quick inspection of the hotel room. Now, my goal when I inspect a hotel room is to try to find any real large infestations. I don't want to stay in a hotel room that has a huge problem and I get chewed up as I sleep in that bed at night. Nobody wants that. Not to mention that when you stay in a hotel room that has a bigger problem, most experts will say you probably run a higher risk of taking something home with you. So, you want to do a quick inspection to identify those problem areas. And what you're going to do is you're going to look on the bottom of the box spring first. Now obviously without moving the bed it's going to be very difficult to see this area, but what you want to do is maybe get down on one knee or both knees and go ahead and look at the underside of the box spring wherever you can see that area. And of course you're going to look for the bugs and their spotting. And hopefully if there's a bad problem here, there should be some sort of evidence in that area. And you want to go all the way around the bed and do so. And then the other hot spot you want to look at is the headboard over here. The headboard is definitely an area in a hotel room that could potentially have a problem if there are bugs here. Now, what you want to do is you want to just look at the areas around the headboard. There's some cracks and crevices up here. You could possibly look at the bottom of the headboard, and you're again looking for bugs and the spotting. And what that's going to help you do is again identify a bad infestation. Now, if you want to go further, of course you're probably going to have to take the bed up, stand the bed up, take the headboard off of the wall, and I can't recommend enough that if you're going to start doing that, you may want to get hotel management involved. If you start taking things up and you do so without their permission and you end up breaking something, you're going to end up being responsible for it. Not to mention, moving this large bed could also pose an injury risk to you in terms of lifting it. And so you can go to the hotel management and say, hey listen, I'm concerned about bed bugs. I would like to inspect my hotel room very well. Could you help me do so? And then hopefully they'll send somebody down to help you lift that bed, to help you take that headboard off the wall. But again, we're only trying to detect large infestations, because remember, no matter how good of an inspection you do, if there's only a couple bugs here, you may not be able to find them. And so no matter what good inspection, or no matter how good of an inspection you do, you may not be able to find them. So that's why I don't typically go any further. I just look for the obvious things, just trying to avoid staying in a badly infested room, and if I want to go further, I'll involve hotel management. And so that's what you want to do. Now, in terms of what you're going to do while you're staying here, so now I did an inspection of this room, and I now know that there's no real bad infestation. I'm going to take my bag, and I'm probably going to try to live right out of this bag while I stay in this hotel room. Now obviously if you're on a 10